Welcome back, Live. Jeff Parker here with the Laguna Woods Update. Happy Monday. How are you?
Good. Happy Monday to you, too.
Well, here we go again, another week.
Well, we got through the weekend.
We did.
And we were able to vaccinate over 8,000 now total for the community. So
wow.
Saturday and Sunday were very effective in moving that forward. We have one more event next Friday.
Okay.
So that'll conclude our second doses.
Right.
At that point in time, we're on hold. We've asked people, as you've indicated, to go to info at Laguna Woods Village, the website, to give us information. If they provide us the manner, if they didn't get a shot, if they're interested in getting a shot. And then clearly the other thing is there's still the other places you can go. The county, through Athena, you can go and get the Disneyland and Soka. And they're also looking at opening up Anaheim Convention Center, a number of places that they're looking at expanding for the county. Also, My Turn, you can register on My Turn to get screened for vaccination through the state of California. That's their website. It's called myturn@ca.gov.
Okay.
So that's another place you can register.
Okay.
And then finally, we mentioned Friday, Rite Aid. Then you go on riteaid.com. /COVID-19, and you can register to get vaccination at Rite Aid, which is across the street. So again, 3 options there for those people who decided not to, or for whatever reason were missed out on getting the vaccine. Now down the road, because we don't know what kind of allocation we're going to get in the future, we're talking to Orange County Mental Health and Orange County Health, and also working with Memorial Care, is when the Johnson & Johnson vaccine comes out, maybe looking at the potential of taking our waiting list, see who's still out there that would like to get a vaccine, and go with the single vaccine method, and have maybe one more clinic to address that.
Right.
Again, the focus here, and by law and by how it's been played out, is this is 65 and over residents. There is no information yet out there with regards to, for our sake of the village here, 55 to 65, which would mean anybody basically under 65.
Right.
Which will take us all the way down to 18. That's a lot of people that the state's got to vaccinate. And I know the president's trying to roll out as many vaccines as he can to have something accomplished by summertime. We'll see if that works. We'll keep an eye on that. But we're probably looking at April as a time frame for if we are able to do another clinic. Right.
Well, as you can tell by the news, it seems like they're trying to roll it out as quickly as possible. And like you said, with Johnson & Johnson on the way, that could certainly open up lots of possibilities. But like you said, we're all bound by the Orange County Health Department and what the government does, and kind of wait and see type thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then some of the numbers were a little concerning. We've got a few more deaths that we have seen, which is kind of alarming.
It was, and that may be accumulation of over the weekend in total, but unfortunately 53 people passed away. Now, there is correlation in all probability with the ICU numbers going down, but you and I were talking about trying to see if we can find out any additional information about how long people are in ICU that are passing away, or these long-term ICU patients, and then they very well may be, because when you're in ICU,
it's not very clear. You look at 53 numbers, you're like, oh my gosh, that is a really high number. And then when you really don't know, we can assume, like you said, it's probably coming from ICU, because I know in the beginning we were talking about ICU. They're in there for a while. Once you are intubated, you can be in there for 30 to 60 days.
They also noted that, and because you can't just go 53 minus the number that you saw last Friday, is that some people have gone home and have passed away from the perspective that they're out of ICU. They've been released. So it's hard. We're going to see if we can come up with some more identifiable information on that. The hospitalization stayed under 300, so that's good. Again, that includes the ICU case bed. So our bed totals are in good shape. Testing's still going well, almost 9,000 tests and only 110 cases.
Yeah, that's low.
So
that's great.
So that's really good. And what that really means is, again, we're progressing into the red and hopefully the orange.
Yes.
We'll show that next chart. That hasn't changed from last week. that gets updated basically on a weekly basis. As you know, it says 7-day averages.
Right.
So we'll get that probably tomorrow. We'll see our new numbers. It's the anticipation, certainly by some of the members of the board, county board of supervisors and their staff, that we will go to the red tier on Wednesday as of the results of Tuesday's information.
Right.
That's a good first step. Certainly that allows for less restrictions on certain things. Number one for us is that pickleball doubles will be included, although we could have done pickleball doubles and started to with a waiver and everything. This doesn't require that process, so that'll make it much easier to get on our website and get registered for the classes.
Good.
Really, the big one that we're looking at right now is moving towards that third tier, which is that moderate tier. Because when you get into the moderate tier, you're able to then look at your capacity at your facilities better. And so we're now in the process of trying to gear up staffing, address the safety of our employees with regards to how they would interact if we opened up the facilities, how we can keep people using the facilities by appointment only, slotted, so there's a lot of social distancing and the mask requirements still would occur. So all of those things are in the works right now. We're putting a game plan together. I hope to have some official designation probably by next week, which would preclude or be the precursor to us going into the orange category, which would probably be the first or second week of April.
Right, I was going to ask you that, yeah. So
if we hit our time frame.
Right, so let's just assume that the adjusted daily case rate goes down. We move to the red tier. How long do we have to stay in the red tier?
It's 3 weeks under the old designation. Now, they may modify that. We'll keep an eye on that. I know that they have talked about in big picture activities like Disneyland and sports like the Dodgers, the Angels, and all those, starting April, at the beginning of April, opening that up to a small percentage and allowing that percentage to grow. So again, that is all depending on where Orange County and LA County land.
Yeah.
We know, based on our numbers, we're definitely headed towards red, hopefully Tuesday and Wednesday.
Okay.
And then kick off the next level, which would be that 2 to 3 week period. And we're expecting 3 weeks based on that standard, that we'll get into that first, second week of April with some, hey, yes, you're going to orange. And then that will allow us to have the flexibility of opening up some additional facilities, including making appointments to go into our clubhouses and the community center.
That's great. I mean, that's going to be really welcome, for sure.
It will. It will take some pressure off our residents who have been much more accustomed to coming in or making an appointment to come in the past, and not having to use the computer all the time. So we do know that will help. And then, of course, with regards to the clubhouses, it's the activities, it's the clubs, it's using Clubhouse 4, which is a very active location. How do we stage that? How do we protect our employees and the residents, and how we're going to put that into operation?
Right. Well, when you have to operate at a minimum capacity, then you will have to have maybe a few more employees on board to kind of monitor that, right? I mean, how else would you do it?
That's what we're looking at, is what is the monitoring process going to be? Are we going to be able to have volunteers do that? All of those things. Are we going to take temperatures for everybody that's walking in? Those are the kind of things that are the nuances that we have to have in place, though. And we need to know what we want to do to create the most safe environment that we can, and yet have the flexibility of people going in.
Okay, great. Good. All right. Well, then we look forward to seeing you on Friday with some really good news.
I hope so. I'm hoping that by Friday we'll definitely be in the red zone, and looking forward to moving towards orange.
Absolutely. Well, good. Well, thank you so much, and have a great day.
You too. Thank you.
All right. And when we come back, we will have Jim Hopkins with the GRF update, so stay tuned.